Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I appreciate you giving me credit for thinking of this idea, but the reality of it is you kind of forced my hand by not like I couldn't have said right down because I don't see the low level grid positions, so I don't know if it's 100 or 1,000 or 60 or anything.
That's true.
But cool. I mean, that gives me credit for something that I don't really deserve.
Well, but I did tell you that you could go up, down, left, right. If you had said, well, I tell you to go right, I just would have moved right a little bit and you would have seen where I was and you would go, oh, you got to keep going right, keep going right, keep going right. And yeah, I could have made that as granular as I wanted to, but it has to be fairly granular. There's no way to get from here through the doorway, through one of the doorways, which you absolutely have to do. So let's be a little bit more concrete. So let's write down exactly what that action was. I don't know what it is, but you created a bunch of actions that I'm going to say are things like go to doorway. And we can even name those doorways. Let's call them X. And so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 more actions, which are going to allow me to save possibly many, many steps. So let's think about that. What if I had started here? What would you have told me?
Well, in principle, the plan that I gave you could still work. This go to the doorway to the east and then go to the doorway to the south.
Right. And by the way, well, go ahead.
Well, it seems like the room layout that you have makes it possible to go the kind of the southerly route as well.
Right. There's some point where going east and then south is not as good as going south and then east. So, and I don't know exactly where that point is, but I'll make it easy for you by drawing a dot there. What would you tell me to do there?
I would totally tell you to go east and then south.
Right.
So east to the doorway, south to the doorway, then down.
Right. So for a whole bunch of states inside of this room, no matter what I do, the action is the same, even though I'm in different states. I should still just go here. I take one action for one particular state. So the plan itself and sort of what I'm searching over is actually much simpler. And that would be true for, I think, probably any space inside of this room. Your answer would be?
Just go to the south door.
Right. And, not to drive the point home too much, but what about from here? Well, I think it's obvious. You tell me to go here. From here, you tell me to go here. From here, you tell me to go here. At some point, there's a switch off between whether going through this door or going through this door is the right thing to do. But there you go. And then once you're in the room, well, then you're going to have to take, sort of baby steps towards the goal. But regardless, I'm going to claim that this is an easier kind of space to reason over than having to live in the original action space.